I was watching this Kobe Bryant interview the other day, and it kind of sparked this topic. That was where this topic was inspired from. For those that don't know, Kobe Bryant grew up in Italy, and that's where he started his basketball journey. That's where he started playing basketball. Now, when he started, the other kids on the court were much better than him. He was a scrawny kid. He wasn't that good. He wasn't that tall. Whereas on the other hand, the other kids had more muscle mass. They were taller. They were just much better than him. However, he let his inability to compete with the other kid fuel his hunger to become better. He didn't let his shortcomings stop him from becoming the version of which he envisioned. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, now imagine if Kobe Bryant had given up, had compared himself to all the other kids and said, oh man, I'm not as tall as this guy. Man, I'm not as good as this guy. I'm not as fast as him, or I don't have as much muscle mass as him. I'm not as fat. I'm quick as he is with the handles, and he just gave up. We would never ever have the Mamba mentality, as we call it, and it really shocked me for a second to kind of think deeper. And I was like, well, how many people are sitting on this pile of gold that they do not know of just because they compare themselves to other people, or just because they're scared to see other people see them try, right? When Kobe Bryant started, he was not good. Like I said, all these other kids were much better at basketball than him. But that prompted him. I think they said he was shooting, how many? I don't remember, but he was shooting a crazy amount of shots every single day to get better because he had this hunger for it. But at the beginning of it, he was not that good. However, he wasn't scared to be seen trying. No matter how many people were going to laugh at him, he did not care because he knew if he just put in the time and he put in the work and he practiced his shots, he was going to get better eventually. I think we can all take a page out of Kobe Bryant's book and realize that when we start doing something, it's not going to look as glamorous in the beginning, and that's okay. We shouldn't seek to be perfect in the beginning because it's kind of ridiculous. See, nature has its own way of of working. You know, when something starts in the beginning, let's say if you see a building. When a building is being built, it looks very, it's very mysterious. You're like, what is this? What is being built? You're curious a little bit of how the building is going to look like. They start from the foundation and they build up, and eventually they put electricity in there. The plumbers come to work on it. They paint it out around, and then they open it up, and then before you know it, you have a building. That's really how everything works out. Nature, they teaches us a whole lot of things, but we just cannot read into it as much. When you start doing something new, of course you're gonna have the fear of who's gonna see this, who's gonna laugh at me, who's gonna think I'm not good. But you have to realize that anybody that criticizes you when you start doing something is not doing better than you. And it reminds me of this clip of ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, I'm trying things. You tried it too. How you gonna knock somebody in the world for actually trying to do something? Trying. Since when has it become not cool to try?
See, there's layers to this video actually. It's just a 5-second, 10-second video, but there's layers to it. See, ASAP Rocky is one of the most successful rappers ever, right? And he says this with this much confidence. He says, why would you want to beat down on somebody trying? Since when has it not been cool to try? And it's so funny because anybody that became a professional at something had to start from somewhere, had to try, had to fail. So you letting the fear of what other people might say when you're trying is actually kind of selfish, because you have all these talents and you have all these things that you can do, but just because of what other people might say of it, you're not gonna start. It's kind of ridiculous. And you have to also kind of understand that anybody who talks down upon you is not on your level. Anybody who laughs at you in the beginning when you're trying is not on your level, and that's their loss. That's their loss. That's their problem. Because if you start something new, of course it's not going to look glamorous. See, I have this thing that I do where my favorite YouTubers, when I go on their pages, I just go straight to their first video if they haven't deleted it. And most of them started back in 2011, and they were filming with potatoes, and their editing style was not that great, but what they had was passion and the vibe, you know. And it kind of inspires me so much, because when you kind of scan through all those videos, and just 2 years after, they've improved so much from when they first started. And then 2 years after that, they get better. They live in a much better apartment, and their lighting is much better. And then 2 years after that, a better camera. And before you know it, they have a whole production. And that is exactly how everything great starts. But if you let the fear of what other people might think of you when you start doing something stop you from taking those necessary steps in the beginning, you're stopping a whole creation. Who knows what you could become if you just get over that fear. So how do you get over this fear? I think I already touched on it, but the first step is to understand that, our perception of what we think other people might say is all in our head. Sometimes someone might look at you and be like, yo, this guy inspires me, or this person inspires me. You might be an inspiration to someone to start something new. You never know who you might be inspiring on the other end of your camera. So that's what you should understand. Your beginning points can be somebody else's inspiration. And that's what we are all here to do, to inspire each other and to make each other better. Now, the second thing you have to also understand is anybody that talks down upon whatever you got going on is not doing better than you. Because any successful person who's been successful in any area of your lives understands that they had to start from somewhere. The rich person had to start from broke. The athletes had to start from an amateur. Professional dancer had to start from, not being as great as they are right now. And the teacher had to start from a student. Everybody starts from somewhere. When I go to the gym and I see these kids, who are actively trying to better themselves, and they come to me and they're like, man, you look so big. I'm like, hey, you look very big too. Keep going. So yeah, you have to understand that anybody that is doing better than you would never ever talk down upon you. It's only people who don't have nothing better to do with their lives that go on other people's pages and spew hate. Really, if I don't like something, I just choose to keep it to myself. Unless it's constructive criticism, if it's hates, I just keep it to myself. I don't like everything, and that's okay. I just keep it moving, scrolling. I don't understand why many people find it hard for themselves to just scroll by. If you don't like it, it's not for you. Cool, keep it moving. Now, thirdly, this quote really speaks to me a lot every single day. And it goes, fast success builds ego, slow success builds character. Would you rather have a fast success and lose it fast, or slow success and retain it for a long period of time? Which one would you rather have? When you start and you're not getting as much traction as you want, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. It's building your character, which is eventually going to hold you on. There's going to, protect you from certain things. If you blow up too quick, you might not know how to retain it. You might not know how to handle it. So don't give up. Don't quit when you're not seeing the traction that you want to see, because it's on its way. Everything that you're working on right now is also working on you before it starts working for you. Shout out to Myra Golden. For some reason, I've been able to always have this ability, or I've always been able to have this ability to not fear trying new things, because I understand that when I start, I'm not going to be good at it. And that's where the excitement is. I want to actively see myself trying new things and getting better each and every step of the way. That is what excites me. I started kickboxing, or I started MMA classes last year. And when I started, I was very bad at it. Now, anybody will say I'm bad at it, so I quit. I'm bad at it, so bring it on. I'm terrible, but I do want to get better at this. And I can see myself with every single class, I'm getting better. With every single training, I'm getting better. My conditioning is getting better. And sometimes it doesn't go as planned. And sometimes I fail. And sometimes I'm terrible. And that's okay because it's part of the journey of becoming great. See, when you keep a growth mindset like that, it never discourages you. It's just like sometimes going to the gym. Today I was in the gym and I didn't have a great session, but I realized that this is also part of the journey because next time I'll come in here and I'll kill it. You know what I mean? But other people might go into the gym and their session might not be good and they just give up, right? That's not the way to go. It's not always going to go as great. And that shouldn't be a reason to give up. Don't be scared to try new things. Don't be scared to be seen trying. There's no malice in it. There's no harm in trying new things because the more you try new things, the more you figure out more about yourself. However, this is easier said than done. This also takes putting your ego away a little bit because when your ego is in the way of, sometimes our egos block us without us not knowing it. You know, we think that, oh, it's the fear of what other people might say, but it's really the ego that doesn't want to see us fail. You know, because we want to be able to excel at everything we do, and we kind of stay in this comfort zone of everything we are good at. Because the moment you transition onto something you're bad at, then it makes you insecure. Then you're like, oh man, now I have to start from the bottom again. But there's no harm in it. You know, Michael Jordan left the NBA to go play baseball. And he was terrible. And when he came back to basketball, he was he was absolutely terrible. But then he came back from it and start training again and continue to win championships. But I think what Michael Jordan was doing is he was trying to send the message across that I am not scared to fail. I am not scared to be seen trying. I am not scared to start new things. I will do it, and even if I fail at it, I will move on to the next thing. And that is a mindset that we all should try to cultivate. So I hope this video kind of helps you a little bit or inspires you to like get on whatever journey that you wish to get on. You know, it's a very scary thought at the beginning, but when you just get the ball rolling, it's smooth sailing from there. I hope to see you guys on the next video. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new to this channel, welcome, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button down below, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.